Hi, I'd like to continue from the last video when I was mentioning other subjects of areas of astrocartography is the shadow planets, and I wanted to go into the last exercise, which I was saying take inventory of where you reside at, and that's a great exercise because you at least have 6 months to a year. It should be minimum, and you'll get a kind of a taste of the area. It's going to be much more of a fact-finding situation because one of the reasons is for that is understanding the planets and their associations with the colors too. Like we'll take for example, say like you're living near anywhere of your Mars lines. That can be your IC, your MC line, or your ascendant and descendant line. And we'll start with the IC. Now, the IC does represent the home. So we would love to do things in a home activity, or it could be work because of the factor with Mars in there. And it can bring a place where you don't feel as comfortable or appreciated because there's always the Mars strike that's coming after you. Now, it's not a negative, but Mars is aggressive. It keeps brewing. It's competitive. It's also loud. You may be in a situation where you live near a fire home or firehouse, and you will also be neighbors that can be very rambunctious. They can be very loud, just in character and state. That would be another aspect. And then you can notice the cars, the colors of the cars. Do you see the color red most popular in your neighborhood and your home as far as your neighbors and so forth? You want to notice that too as well. So you make a note of that too. Fire is also, it can be also things with ventilation too because of the heating. Could be enough coolant or not adequate enough to feel cool and comfortable. That's also a Mars. But Mars does bring arguments. So you look at the household and there can be disruption or arguments, disagreements, quarrels. That would be another one. And that can be in family vicinity too. That could be extended family. It could be parental affliction. It could also be actually involved with neighbors again, but you would look at parentals and extended family, aunts, uncles, and so forth. This may cause a disruption or arguments or quarrels more than you may prefer to digest, let's say. That's one thing. So that is part of your learning experience because then you will know a feel. So say like you're not really feeling the energy where you're living at. Maybe you're having a lot of oppositions, trials, or lack of motivation, which could be a Mars too. Now, and it can be what we can going to get into is the shadow planets. So this is one of the things you can enlighten yourself and others because you may see another effect on that. So I also keep in mind, where did you grow up at? Was it in a consistency for some years that, unless it's the one where you're traveling back and forth, but usually the case is this usually a permanency or stability that's going to be in that home structure. And or not, because then that could be another thing. It could be Uranus on the IC, which can bring changes and disruptions, shocking changes to it. So that's one of the things you want to keep in mind with. So, and also lastly, medically, you might want to look at that too. Mars deals with also inflation or inflammation. So that's one of the things you may want to look at. Burns is another one. You may have more frequent cuts that you may be associated with, and it can be leading to the actual zone that you're in, meaning the Mars. Now, also, there is another extension to this. When you're living there, there's the locality that you're living in, and it's called local astrology too. And that's dealing with on a smaller scale. But that's dealing with, I think I will develop that more in the next video. But I wanted just to touch base and add on to the part that I just finished in the last video. So until next time, peace.